You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet, The Doug Stewart Show.
This is a revolution in radio, the realest, trillest sports talk show in America, The Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
This is sports talk for the people.
Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook to stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktail Series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, get ready to ride raw with the Doug Stewart Show.
This is sports talk with hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STEW to play for free. That's STEW for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STEW, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STEW.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised.
Do you want that real sports talk? Unfiltered, unsanitized? Well, you have found it. This is a revolution in radio. The realest, trillest sports talk show in America. The Doug Stewart Show. This is sports talk for the people. Yes! What's happening? How my people's doing? Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you so much for joining your boy. This is a Throwback Thursday. But first, we gotta bring it back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ho, ho. Yeah. June 4th, 2015, this is the Doug Stewart Show. Throwback Thursday, shouty. Oh, boy, man. Shouts out to all of my Stewies already in the chat room, feeling good, feeling great. How about you? Huh? Yeah. All right, so today is June 4th, 2015. Once again, shouts out to everybody already in the chat room. I really appreciate that. That's what makes this show totally interactive, is all of the Stewies, I call them, all the listeners to this show in the chat room being totally interactive. But today, we need to hit the reset button. We need to hit the reset button, shawty! Oh, man, a lot of passion yesterday. Some people would call it foolishness, but I call it passion. Yes, from the Stewies. Yeah, Jack, I love it. I love it. Let's hit the reset button today, though, man. All right, tell somebody you love them. hug your neighbor, shake your neighbor's hands, as they say do in church, which I hate when they do that. And let's have a good time on the Doug Stewart Show from Monday through Friday. From 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. is what we do. We come in here and we have a good time. We're a family. Thank you so much for supporting the show and telling people about the show. Thank you very much. Speaking of supporting the show, all right, so we got something new today. I got something new here I wanna unleash upon you. All right, we have a ton of people that listen to the show. And I think maybe I've done this one other time. I think we used to do this on the Stews every once in a while. But we really need to do this more so now because we are independent. In relative terms, we're kind of small, but we're big. We're big in heart. And you are listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I always tell you about, passing the word and to tell one person about the show. I got an easy way for you to do that right now. You remember Frank Ski used to have his daily inspirational vitamin? I've got a daily promotional duty that you have to take part in, okay? And your daily promotional duty is this. I tweeted something just now, or like 5 minutes ago. All I need you to do is to go to my Twitter account, at The Doug Stewart Show, or at Doug2, the number 2 Live Stews, and retweet that tweet. That's all I need you to do. Now, here's the thing about it. We up in the ante on this, all right? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. We are upping the ante on this, all right? I made this tweet, and it's basically, urging people to check out the DougStewartShow.com. I made this tweet. I need at least 50 listeners. I need at least 50 Stewies. We're going to start out with 50. I need at least 50 of y'all listening to the show right now, and we already got hundreds listening to the show, so this should be easy. I need at least 50 of y'all to retweet that, and if you don't retweet that, I'm starting my hunger strike right now. Yeah, I am. If I can't get 50 people to retweet today's tweet, then damn it, I'm not going to eat. All right? I'm not going to eat. So if you want your boy to eat and to live, and so he can continue to do this show, I need you to retweet today's tweet that I just tweeted about 7 or 8 minutes ago. You understand? And if you don't do it, I'm not going to eat. And I know that's drastic and that's harsh. But damn it, drastic situations call for drastic measures. I need at least 50 people. Once I get to the 50 mark where people have retweeted today's tweet, then I'll eat. I'll grab a sandwich or something and I'll eat it. Or something like that. Okay? But help me eat. All right? If you don't want me to eat, if you want me to just perish away and wither away, then you won't retweet it. But if you retweet it, that says that you love me and that you want me to eat and get nourishment for my body. So please retweet that. I'm going to check it. I'm going to check it throughout today's show. And damn it, I'm already hungry. I'm already hungry. So help your boy out, man, and just retweet today's tweet at The Doug Stewart Show or at Doug2 Live Stews. All right, the number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@thedougstewartshow.com. You see the title to the show. Get it poppin'. NBA Finals, baby, are here. So all day long today, what we're going to do is talk about NBA Finals. We'll also talk about Lesean McCoy. He kind of speaks, but then he kind of doesn't. The Denver Nuggets interview a guy that's pretty familiar to most of us. Yahoo takes a plunge into broadcasting. A lot of great stuff, man. A lot of great stuff we're going to get into today, but mainly we're going to focus on these NBA Finals. I've already come on the record, man. I think Golden State's going to win this thing. I think it would be great. I think it would be fantastic. It would be one of the greatest sports stories in the history of sports stories if LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers could win this year's NBA Finals. The problem is this is not a fairy tale. Okay? It's not a fairy tale. And so I think Golden State is just they're a well-oiled machine right now. They just have everything. They play great defense. They play great offense. They have the league's MVP, one of the best players in the history of the game. So I'm going with Golden State. I'm on the record. Who do you like to win this series and why? We'll break down some of the matchups as far as the players on both of the teams. We'll kind of look at some of the scenarios that are probably going to play themselves out on the court. So we'll talk NBA Finals all day today. Also, a little bit later on today's show, I'm going to talk to my man Greg Wynn. He's the regional leader for Pride America in the Southeast, and so we're going to talk to him. I've joined up with Pride America over the last couple of weeks to help out your financial situation as well as predominantly your insurance needs, okay? And Greg Wynn, once again, regional leader here. I've teamed up with him, and I'm going to talk to him a little bit later. He's a good friend of mine. He's also a big-time sports fan, but he's also going to tell you a little bit about what he does and how he can help you and your family out from Pride America. All right, we'll do that. Oh, yeah! And here's the fun part of today. We're going to do birthdays as well, and that's always fun. Hopefully there's somebody that has a birthday today that sang, you know, and that'll give me the opportunity so that I can sing. Shut up! Shut up! I love singing! What are you talking about? So we'll do birthdays as well as today's top five, and we do top fives pretty much all the time. I love doing top fives. LeBron James made a very interesting comment. Someone talked to him about the series, and just out of anywhere, somewhere, he came out with this statement that Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry are two of the all-time greatest NBA ball handlers. I mean, that's a profound statement because dude's been playing basketball for a long, long time. The NBA has been around a long, long time. So when he made that statement, I kind of agree. I mean, Steph Curry and Kyrie Irving got mad handles. They do. But the greatest, would I put him in the top 5 ball handlers of all times? I don't know. So what we're going to do today, all right, have a little fun with this, is I'm going to give you my top 5 NBA ball dribblers / handlers of all time, shorty. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Like, there's a couple of guys that just, very quickly come to mind as far as could handle a basketball and dribble a basketball. So I'm going to kind of talk about those guys, but I'm also going to kind of factor in the level of success that they had in the NBA, their brand, how well known they are. This is really a tough thing to choose because there's been so many great players. So the difference between 1 and 5 is very, very minuscule. But we'll have a little fun with that today and talk about that today on the Doug Stewart Show. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Warriors, Cavaliers, they get it going tonight. Who do you like in this series and why? We'll talk about some of the matchups once again. I'll take your phone calls. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. But the easy way to be totally interactive is the Spreaker chat. Go to Spreaker, follow the show, hit the little follow button on Spreaker, and then just jump in the chat room. There's a little chat bubble. You hit that, and then bam, you're introduced to a new world. I call them my family, the Stewies. Yes, and I read chat all day long. That's how we do it. I read chat all day long. You're kind of like my co-host. All right? All right, so we get back from the break, man. More Cavaliers, Warriors talk. I'll talk about my top 5. I'll give you number 5 of my list of greatest ball handlers of all time. And we'll just do what we do. And that's have fun. Don't go away. Keep it locked. The Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad, and being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, What I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! This is your boy Doug Stewart, one half of the Two Live Stews. Check out my brand new daily show and podcast that airs live Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Spreaker.com. That's the Doug Stewart Show daily at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Spreaker.com. Or check out the podcast anytime, 24/7. If you're not stewing, what in the world are you doing?
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your number one advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
I mean, this got to be one of the greatest beats of all times.
I go on and on.
Shouts out to the great Too Short. Speaking of Golden State, Oakland's finest. Man, NBA Finals tonight. Thank you for joining me on the Doug Stewart Show. Throwback Thursday. The Golden State Warriors are a prohibitive favorite in this year's NBA Finals. We're going to talk about that all day long today. I'm going to read a lot of your chat, as well as break down this game and give you my thoughts on it. Also talking about the top 5 NBA ball dribblers / handlers of all times. LeBron James made a comment that he thinks that Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry are two of the greatest ball handlers in the history of the game. I kind of agree with him. They got mad handles. Coming in at number 5 on my list is the great Chris Paul, point guard for the Clippers, formerly the New Orleans Hornets. I mean, Chris Paul got mad handles. The only reason Chris Paul isn't high up on this list is because, I don't know. Once again, it's very hard to even differentiate between these guys that I have on this list because there's been so many great NBA players. But I guess one factor I'm putting in this equation is, like, do people talk about them in their game and their actual ball handling exploits, like on the street or in the barbershop or in the playground or something like that, where cats talk about basketball? And Chris Paul got mad handled. The guys that I have ahead of him are kind of, the conversation about their ball handling skills are a little bit more. They've done more in the NBA, had more success, that type of thing. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Have you retweeted my tweet that I sent out a couple of minutes ago? I need you to do it. And I'm understanding right now that not everybody's on Twitter. Shame on you. If you're not on Twitter, shame on you. This is 2015. So what I need you to do, if you're not on Twitter, it takes about 5 seconds. Create you a Twitter account and retweet my tweet today, man, and help me get off this hunger strike. I'm on a hunger strike until 50 people retweet my tweet that I tweeted a little bit earlier. All right, so help your boy out on that. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewart.com. I mentioned it in the first segment, but the Golden State Warriors are the favorite to win this series overwhelmingly, like 3-1. Let's look at a couple of the matchups, man. Small forward Harrison Barnes versus LeBron James. Harrison Barnes has been playing fantastic basketball, man, but he's playing against some people would call the greatest player in the history of basketball. Harrison Barnes is a guy that can shoot three-pointers, but he's probably going to be D'd up by LeBron. So even that's going to be halted to a degree. So clearly the check mark goes to LeBron James and the Harrison Barnes matchup as far as small forwards. Then you got the power forward, Draymond Green versus Tristan Thompson. I think even though Draymond Green, this is almost like an even or stalemate, because both of these guys, man, have been playing fantastic basketball. Draymond Green, I guess you would kind of give the edge to him because he's another dude. Like everybody on this Golden State Warriors team can shoot three-pointers. Draymond Green has done that very proficiently, especially in the playoffs. Then he's tough as hell. He's gritty. He's kind of like the enforcer type guy on that team as well. Tristan Thompson, as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, has made a lot of money. Fantastic, has been a beast down on the blocks. So this is going to be a great, great matchup between these two guys. The center position, I guess you'd have to give an advantage to Timothy Mozgov for Cleveland over Andrew Bogut. Andrew Bogut's older. He's beat up a lot. He was actually put on the boiled peanuts list a couple of days ago or a couple of weeks ago because he had a game where he didn't get any points. Heralded coming out of college, but really hasn't lived up to the billing once again since he did come out of college. So I'm going to give the slight advantage to Timothy Mozgov. So that's 2 to even for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And then you talk about the shooting guard, Klay Thompson versus Iman Shumpert, and then probably even J.R. Smith as well. Clearly that goes to Klay Thompson offensively. Klay Thompson is also a very good defensive player as well. Iman Shumpert is known as a defensive stopper or an offensive stopper at the shooting guard position, but I think you have to give the edge to Klay Thompson. And then the point guard position, Steph Curry versus Kyrie Irving. You're talking about the league MVP and Steph Curry, a guy that we're talking about today as having one of the best handles in the history of the game, and it's already been established. It's already been established over the last couple of weeks, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, that Steph Curry is probably, based on what he's done in his career, based on the fluidity, I guess is a word, if that is a word, of his shot, how good it looks, how textbook it looks, and the fact that he's actually broken some records as far as three-point shooting in these playoffs, taking his shot off the dribble, is probably the greatest shooter in the history of the game. So clearly that goes to Steph Curry when you're talking about the point guard position, especially Kyrie Irving being kind of banged up right now with the knee. We don't know where he's at with that. Every time I turn on the TV, I hear something different. Oh, he feels great today. He's 100%. Oh, it's just hit or miss. We don't know if we're going to have Kyrie. We don't know if he's 100%, this, that, or the other. So clearly right now, you got to give that advantage to Steph Curry. So once again, there's a slight edge, I think, for as far as roster-wise and depth chart-wise, slight edge, I think, to the Golden State Warriors. Maybe you could call it even. But I think that the gameplay, the chemistry of this Golden State team, and the fact that they're like, once again, I said it earlier, a well-oiled machine. They are playing fantastic basketball right now, and I guess you could even add in one other category. The coaches, David Blatt versus Steve Kerr. You got to give that to Steve Kerr. Once again, so that even propels Golden State a little bit further if you're looking at matchups and the breakdown of matchups. I think you clearly have to give a check mark to the Golden State Warriors. Now, he said this a million times as well. LeBron James plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And that guy's so good, he kind of erases a team's deficiencies. I mean, he does. He's one of the best players of all times. We've been talking about over the last couple of weeks as well, the comparison between this guy and Michael Jordan. And so he is up there, man. He's one of the best players I've ever seen. I mean, there's no denying that. I think you could clearly, based on what he's done, accomplishment-wise, this is his 5th NBA Finals. Size, strength, speed, smartness, what he does on the floor as far as getting all of his other teammates involved. You could say he's definitely one of the best players of all times. So that's going to erase, once again, a lot of the deficiencies of this Cleveland Cavalier team. The fact that they don't have Kevin Love, the fact that Kyrie Irving is injured, the fact that it might be a question mark about chemistry because they don't have all their pieces that they started out with and when they had that great run at the latter part of the season this year. They got LeBron. It's as simple as that. So who do you like to win this year's NBA Finals? Okay? And tell me why. And when I get back from the break, what I'm going to do is read a lot of your chat. That's all I'm going to do is read chat. We'll quickly do some birthdays, but then I'm going to read chat. All right, I'm going to read chat and get your thoughts about these NBA Finals and why do you think it's going to go down the way it's going to go down. I hate the fact that these games, I think tonight's tip-off isn't until 9 p.m. Let me verify that. I hate that. I hate that about this time of the year and the fact that, it's West Coast versus East Coast and it is 9 p.m. And so we're not going to be able to really the game isn't going to start till 9 p.m. and it's going to be over probably around 12:30. So that's a late night for the East Coast. I don't know what other way you could handle it because of the 3-hour time difference between the West Coast and the East Coast. But I hate this. This is the one negative aspect about finals games, especially in baseball and basketball because they do have the series and they do home and homes. This is the one thing that I hate, man. I struggle through the playoffs this year and watching West Coast teams. I'm a Laker fan, so this is nothing new to me. I didn't watch a lot of Lakers this year because they absolutely sucked. But it's tough being a fan of basketball and watching West Coast games, and this is going to come into play game 1 in this series tonight because it will be at Oracle Arena. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Talking NBA Finals, talking top 5 NBA ball dribblers of all times. Speaking of ball dribblers, and speaking of the NBA, which we've been doing all day long today, have you seen the ESPN 30 for 30 on Sonny Vaccaro, which was the big Nike rep, and he actually left Nike and went to Adidas, and I'm going to mention this quickly because I know I'll forget it, and it just kind of flashed across my mind. I watched that last night, and I think this wasn't the first time it's aired. I think this was a repeat, but last night's the first night I saw it. Very intriguing documentary, man, and about how, the sneaker wars and getting guys to sign with particular shoe companies. It all started with Michael Jordan, and then it went on from there. Probably the next biggest name was Kobe Bryant, and it was interesting, Sonny Vaccaro, telling the stories about how he landed these guys and got these guys to sign with that particular shoe company at the time that he worked for. But just really intriguing stuff. That's something that I'll recommend to you. And I always talk about me being a TV guy and watching all these series as well. And so last night was good TV. I don't know the exact name of it. I'll find that for you. But, yeah, check that out when you get a chance. The 30 for 30 on Sonny Vaccaro and basically the sneaker wars and the fight to sign big-time or big-name NBA players to the rosters of those prospective companies. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. Have you retweeted that tweet, man? Help your boys out. Help your boy out. Retweet that tweet. Help me get off of this hunger strike. And damn it, I'm on a hunger strike. I am. We can get 50 people to retweet that tweet before the end of today's show, hopefully before the end of the next segment so I can eat this sandwich. I need you to retweet the tweet that I tweeted a little bit earlier. You know what I mean. All right, so don't go away. Keep it locked. When we get back, birthdays, more NBA Finals talk. This is the Doug Stewart Show. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Throwback Thursday. Please help your boy eat, man. Right now, I am on an official hunger strike. Unless I get 50 people to retweet my tweet that I tweeted out a little bit earlier and to help promote the show. So make sure you go to at Doug2 Live Stews or at the Doug Stewart Show and retweet today's tweet. Thank you. Please help me. Help me. Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda. Top 5 NBA ball dribblers / ball handlers of all times. This all came from a conversation or a point that LeBron James tried to make in saying that Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry are two of the greatest ball handlers the game has ever seen. So I came up with my little list, as we customarily do around here. Number 5 on my list was Chris Paul. Chris Paul needs to win a championship, man. And his status and his brand would be elevated so much. Or he at least needs to make it to a finals or a Western Conference Finals. I don't know. But Chris Paul comes in at number 5. Fantastic handles. Coming in number 4 on my list is this is a guy that I'm sure might shock a lot of you, but not really if you think about it and if you're a basketball fan. Coming in at number 4 on my list of top 5 NBA ball handlers of all times is the great Jason Williams, a.k.a. White Chocolate. Yes, sir. Jason Williams had that and one game. Right. Jason Williams had that and one game. He had much swag to his game. You could tell Jason Williams grew up playing with the brothers in the playground a lot. And obviously, but fantastic ball handler, man, had great handles. And so, yeah, he comes in at number 4 on my list of top 5 NBA ball dribblers of all times. And really, I keep saying all times because that's kind of like the theme of this subject. But what I really mean is like the last 35, 40 years. So no disrespect to the great Oscar Robertson or anybody like that from yesteryear that I didn't have a chance to see. But what we're really talking about is like the last 35 years or so of me watching basketball. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. Time for some birthdays.
Hello,
yes!
Douglas.
My favorite time of the day. Yes, ma'am?
You're really excited. You look so excited over there. It's just birthdays, honey.
Well, it is, but there's one particular birthday on here that I'm so excited about because it gives me an opportunity to share with the world my vocals once again.
What? I gave you the birthdays when I got here.
Yeah, you gave me the
There's
birthdays.
There's no singers on it.
Okay, hold on. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and the voice you hear is the Tree of Life, the producer to the Doug Stewart Show. You gave me the birthdays. But you didn't give me one particular birthday. I had Waterhead Walter follow behind you and make sure I had all the birthdays. Yes.
Excuse me?
And you left out one birthday in particular, I think on purpose, because for some reason you're not a fan of my singing style. But that's okay. We got it. Thank you, Tree.
Hi, Walter.
So today, E.J. Johnson celebrates a birthday. You know who E.J. Johnson is? It's Michael Johnson's, or Magic Johnson's, little boy. Yeah. E.J. Johnson. E.J. Johnson, star of the TV show Rich Kids of Hollywood, is 23 years old today. So happy birthday to E.J. Johnson. Keith David. You know who Keith David is, right? He's the voice guy. How can I explain? What has he been in of note? Tree, jump on for a second, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. What has he been in? He's been in a million things. One of the most distinct voices in Hollywood.
It was hard to.
He's been in so many things. He's the brother. He's the black dude with the real deep voice. I'm sure that's not enough to tell people who he is. I can't do his voice. I mean, I can do singing, but I can't do voices like that good. So, yeah, look up Keith David. You'll see who I'm talking about. He's 59 years old. He's from New York City. Maybe Tree will find something exactly in what you know him from. But you definitely know the guy. Just put in Keith David, Google his name, and look at images, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. That ninja. Angelo Jolie is 40 years old today. Happy birthday to her.
Wait a minute. Wait. I cannot let you do that.
What do you mean?
Angelina.
Oh, Angelina. I'm sorry. Angelina Jolie is 40 years old today. So happy birthday to her. And here's the big one that we've been waiting for all day, man. The great El DeBarge is 54 years old today.
I will kill you, Rob.
Yeah! Ho! Hey! Ho! Yeah! I've been thinking about you for quite a while. Bring it back. Yeah! I've been thinking about you for quite a while. You're on my mind every day and every night. My every thought is you. The things you do seem so satisfying to me. I must confess it, girl. Ooh, and I like it. Yeah! The great El DeBarge, just 54 years old today, man. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I can't believe you did that.
Thank you so much, man. The great El DeBarge is 54 years old today.
He's probably dead now.
What are you talking about? Wait a minute.
He probably heard this because we have a lot of people of note that
I
listen
like
to this
the way you wear your hair, and I like those stylish clothes you wear. It's just the little things you do That shows how much you really care. 'Cause when I'm all alone with you.
Ooh.
Yes, sir. The great El DeBarge. You talk about had a nice little run. The DeBarge family, all tons of light skinnedness with DeBarge. Everybody thought they were going to be the next Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5, but not so much. Not so much. Have you ever seen the unsung on DeBarge tree? Have you ever seen the unsung on DeBarge?
It is epic. I really enjoy. It was like 2 parts, I think.
It was a family full of crackheads.
Yeah, they on that. They're from Michigan.
Yeah.
Their daddy was crazy as a Betsy bug.
Right.
He was Joe Jackson on Swole.
Yeah, and very talented family, obviously, but not like Jackson 5-ish talented. I mean, they were good. And then El DeBarge broke away. El went into jail. He did some years in jail. So shouts out to El DeBarge, man. Happy birthday, 54 years old. All right. I feel good, man. Whenever I get an opportunity to sling one of the classics for the listeners, for the Stewies, I take full advantage of it, man. Thank you very much. Make sure you retweet today's tweet promoting the show. I really would appreciate it. I got to get 50 people to retweet that. This is a very, very serious matter, like the AKs were up in here right now. This is a very serious matter. I need you to retweet today's tweet and help promote the Doug Stewart Show, the realest, treeless, most fun show in America. So talking NBA Finals, who do you like, Warriors or Cavaliers, and why? And talking about the top 5 ball dribblers of all times in the NBA. Yes, sir. From J.B. Jennings. He says, please eat, Doug. We need that gospel. Don't have Twitter, though, folk. Man, create you an account. I mentioned earlier, man, I'm asking 50 people at least. And we got thousands of people that listen to this show. So really, this is very easy. I should have said 500 people, but I'm going to start you off very slow on this daily promotional duty that I'm going to have you do. But I'm asking 50 people to retweet the tweet that I tweeted out earlier. And until that happens, I promise you, until that happens, I'm not going to eat, man. I'm just not going to eat. I'm on an official hunger strike. You don't want that to happen. You don't want me to just wither away. So retweet that for your boy, and I would really appreciate it. From Nino the Rhino, he says, eating is overrated. It's not funny, man. I like eating. I don't know about you, Nino. From Boosa, Doug, don't do that. Ninja needs to eat. Retweet complete. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. See, Boosa got my back. That's what I'm talking about. That's it. Thank you. From Brian Hill. Okay, I guess I got to get a Twitter account. What? Come on, man. It takes me on June 4th, 2015 to threaten you with not eating for you to get a Twitter account? Come on, bruh. I mean, it's the way of the future. You got to stay with the times. I mean, it's the wave of the future. From the Kicking It with Kissy, retweeted. Thank you, dollars and cents. Yep, it's done. Polo Negro just retweeted from my sneaker page. Doug gotta eat. Yes, maybe we'll do the hashtag Doug gotta eat. I like that. From Boosa, the great Curly Neal is the best ball handler I've ever seen. I will agree with that, but he didn't play in the NBA, so I'm doing NBA today. But yeah, if you're talking about best ball handlers, I mean, clearly it's somebody from the Globetrotters or maybe one of them and one dudes. I mean, that's not even, and Rafer Alston, you remember the great Skip to Malou? He's actually on my honorable mention list. I can tell you that right now. But yeah, if you're talking about guys that could handle the basketball, that could dribble and do all kind of magical trickery type things with the basketball, it's definitely the great Curly Neal. R.I.P. to the great Curly Neal. Boy, Curly was the man. Curly was like a folk hero. You remember the Globetrotters had their own little cartoon back in the 70s? And Curly was the man. Curly was the man. Look up Curly Neal for all you youngsters out there, and you'll see what I'm talking about. William Mack, top ball handler of all time without question, is Corinne Steffens. Okay, I just walked
wow.
right into that. I just walked right into that. I just walked right into that. All right, that's pretty good, though. I got to give it to you. That's pretty creative. I like that. The top ball handle of all times is Corinne Stephens. Okay, I get that. From Detroit, Matt, top 5. Number 1, he's got Zeke, Isaiah Thomas. Number 2, Pistol Pete. Number 3, Iverson. Number 4, White Chocolate. Number 5, Curry. Your list is kind of similar to mine, Detroit, Matt. Kind of. Dollars and cents. Got to go 1, Curly Neal. 2, Irving. 3, Curry. 4, Tim Hardaway. And number 5, Isaiah Thomas. I like y'all lists. I like y'all thinking. All right, when we get back from the break, man, we'll talk a little bit about Lesean McCoy. He speaks, but then he doesn't speak. All right, don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number 1 independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! I don't like Johnny Gill. He took my spot on New Edition. One of my favorite songs of all time from New Edition is Can You Stand the Rain? So to pay ode to that famous song, man, I'm going to give you my little rendition of Can You Stand the Rain? On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. Ooh. When that's not possible, tell me, can you weather the storm? Then Ralph jumps in. 'Cause I need somebody who will stand. Shut up! Who will stand by me through the good times and bad times. She will always be right there. Hey, sunny days. Everybody has them. And tell me, hey, can you stand the rain? J-Rob, Tree, if you stop Doug singing, we will renege your BPA nomination. Huh? Buster Doug, I see why you got kicked out of New Edition. Wait a minute. Back up, Jack. Shut up. Studio audience, y'all are out of control today. I mean, seriously, we're going to talk about this. We're going to have to take y'all into Larry's office after this show. That ninja, you just cracked my damn phone screen. What? Where's all of this coming from? Who's putting y'all up to say these things? Who's putting y'all... Okay, Tree, jump on for a second. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Did you prompt these people to say these nasty things to me on Spreaker.com?
You know what?
I mean, it's jealousy. Tree, we know that you sing. But you don't have to be the only person that can sing, okay? I can see it. What do the kids call it? Hating? Is that what's going on here, Tree? Are you hating on Doug Stewart? Dirty Della.
Oh, my God.
Dirty Della. Oh. Dirty Della. Oh. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! If you not stewing, what the hell are you doing? This is the Doug Stewart Show. Help your boy get off this hunger strike and retweet the tweet that I sent out earlier, the last tweet that I tweeted this morning. Retweet that for me. I need at least 50 people to shoot that back out to their followers. Retweet, have you? Or if not, I'm not going to eat. And I mean, we're going to get 50 people to do it, but I'm kind of hungry right now, and I got a turkey sandwich sitting right here in front of me, and I kind of want to take a couple of bites during the break, so please retweet today's tweet. And it's basically promoting the show, the Doug Stewart Show, and I really would appreciate that, man. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. We're also doing top 5 NBA ball dribblers of all times. Number 5 on my list is Chris Paul. I mean, the dude plays like he's got a freaking yo-yo extended from his hand. Number 4, Jason Williams, a.k.a. White Chocolate Beast, dribbling that basketball. Coming in at number 3 on my list is the great Isaiah Thomas. Oh, I just mentioned it. If you go back and watch Isaiah, man, it was like the ball was like an extension of his hand. I mean, definitely it was like he was playing with a yo-yo. The way that Isaiah Thomas maneuvered with that basketball, you know, to be that small, his skill level in a lot of other areas, which would have been impeded by the fact that he was small, had to be heightened. And so you can imagine the time that Isaiah Thomas probably put into his game and learned how to dribble the basketball and being a floor general. And Isaiah's handles was just brilliant, man. So Isaiah Thomas comes in at number 3 on my list. Yes, sir. Speaking publicly for the first time since accusing Philadelphia Eagles coach Chip Kelly of considering players' race and roster decisions, Buffalo Bills running back Lesean McCoy defended his comments and confronted reporters who pressed him on the subject. That's a lie. He didn't confront anybody. They confronted him. He was answering questions. He says, quote, "I don't have to explain myself to nobody." He said when asked to elaborate on his assertions, "Nobody. I don't. I said what I said what I felt at the time, and I'm done with that." And then they kept asking him more questions, and dude said, "Did you just hear what I said, man?" I added the man part in just now. "I told you, I'm not talking no more about Chip Kelly or the Eagles, so I'm done with that. You can ask me about the Bills," and that's it, period. And I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Now, this is kind of like the same conversation with the whole thing with, to a much lesser degree with Marshawn Lynch. When I kept making the point that the reason why I supported Marshawn Lynch and I really hated the fact that what the press was doing, continuing to throw a microphone in front of his face, is because we're grown-ass men. We're not kids. And so the man told you one time, maybe 2-3 years ago, that he doesn't want to do questions. Why would you be silly enough to continue to ask him questions? And this is kind of like the same example once again, but to a smaller degree. The man made a statement. The statement is I'm not talking about what I said about Chip Kelly, or I'm not talking about the Philadelphia Eagles anymore. And then, as a matter of fact, he kind of answered the questions by saying, I meant what I said. Thus, all you need to do is refer back to what I said before, and your questions would be answered. Now, all of this stuff about elaborating and we need you to give more. No! The man said what he had to say, and that was it. Whether you agree with it or not, that's it. That should be it. Why would you continue to ask the dude these questions? And he told you, before y'all even had a word come out of your mouth and talking about the press, that he is not talking about Chip Kelly and his comments made about Chip Kelly and the Philadelphia Eagles anymore. So why the hell do you keep on asking him these questions? I hate that, man. So I 100% agree with his stance. I like what he had to say to the press yesterday. Now, if you go back to my thoughts and comments about the story from the very beginning, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, I think that my personal belief is I wouldn't say, or I wouldn't make the statement about Chip Kelly and allude kind of to race being a factor in him getting rid of these players. I wouldn't go that far to say Chip Kelly was a racist. Me personally, I just don't think that you can make that leap because there's a ton of black players on the team. They drafted black players. There's black coaches on the staff. So that doesn't make sense to me. But once again, I'm not there, and it is very suspect, Some of the best players or the best 4 or 5 players on the team were shipped off. It doesn't make any sense. So it's kind of suspect, and they just so happen to be black. It is kind of suspect. I wouldn't go as far as Lesean McCoy, but that's how he felt. And, hey, if he likes it, I absolutely love it. What the hell you mean, man? You just asked me that question, Jack. Stop asking me the same thing. I absolutely hate that stuff, man. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. From Clay Davis's She Advisor, the top 5 ball handlers, Pistol Pete, Jason Williams, Tim Hardaway, Isaiah Thomas, Allen Iverson, Ronald Cameron, best ball handlers, Isaiah, Pistol Pete, Earl the Pearl. Did not see Earl the Pearl Monroe. Don't remember seeing Earl the Pearl Monroe. Tim Hardaway, and Steph Curry, Harvey Scott, AI, Marbury, Kenny Anderson. Ooh, I forgot all about Kenny Anderson. Let me look at my list here. You listen to the Doug Stewart Show. Kenny Anderson. Ooh, I'm looking at my honorable mentions. Can I put Kenny Anderson? And this happens from time to time. I try to take my time and not use too much research and Googling or whatever. I try to go off the top of the dome as far as my top 5s. And once in a while, I forget about somebody. Kenny Anderson had mad handles. Yes. Would I put him ahead of Chris Paul? Okay, for right now, I'm going to stick with my list. But I hate when I do this. I forgot all about Kenny Anderson. I'm going to put Kenny Anderson in an honorable mention, but just know that if I was more in my right mind, he might go over some of these guys I have in my top 5. But, yeah, I forgot all about the great Kenny Anderson, Georgia Tech's finest, New York City's finest. Isaiah, his best ball handlers of all times, and that comes from Harvey Scott. From Dollars and Cents Doug, I can't disagree with you on the matchups, but LBJ has been there and is the X factor. Kyrie playing possum. Ooh, do y'all think Kyrie Irving playing possum? You think he's okay? You think that knee is 100%? Time will tell. From Chico the Alpha, Doug, you believe that Curry is the best shooter to ever pull up a jumper? You truly believe that, big bruh? You may have missed that show. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You may have missed that show, but I've been very critical of Steph Curry and all these accolades of him being the greatest shooter of all time. I just thought that was hogwash, man. But the numbers kind of bear out that he is. All right, forget the numbers. We'll get to that in a second. Just look at his shooting stroke. I can't think of anybody else that gets off, can beat their man off the dribble, and that comes into play as ball handling as well, and get a shot like Steph Curry. I've never seen anybody like that. And then when you factor in that ball handling with his shooting prowess, I mean, he's damn near at the very top, man. He's damn near at the very top. And, oh, yeah, the last thing about that conversation is the numbers have bared out in these playoffs. As far as three-pointers made, he surpassed the record. He's going to blow the record out of the water. I don't have the numbers in front of me right now. He passed the record like in the last series, early in the last series, okay, against the Clippers. So, I don't know what more you can say, man. I always try to stay old school and look at things from a historical perspective, man. But I got to give credit where credit is due. And this dude is a bad boy and probably the greatest shooter in just a couple of years. That's the crazy thing about it. He's probably the greatest shooter the NBA has ever seen. I said it. I actually did a show on that, bro. Go back and look at it. I actually titled the show something about Steph Curry. So it should be easy to find. I talked about that the entire episode. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Montana Jones. You need to eat something, Doug, because you're talking crazy, I guess, in the Steph Curry conversation. From Montana Jones, or from Polo Negro, Cleveland in 6, 9 on the Rhino. Having LeBron is like having an extra player on the floor. From Gary Joyner, I like Cavs in 6. I think the G's might be nervous and play poorly when a team hasn't been here before. It could cost them the series. From Dollars and Cents, Cavs in 7. In the finals, defense is a premium and slows down. Golden State, bunch of jump shooters. See, but that's what I thought the last couple of series, and they continued to make me look like a fool. So I'm past, that whole they're young thing, and, they've never been there before. I mean, I'm past that. I don't care about that in this series for some reason. I think Golden State is ready. I think it's their time. All right? When we get back from the break, man, more of your chat. Hour number 2, we're going to talk to my guy, Greg Wynn, a regional leader for Pride America, in about 20 minutes. Stay tuned for that. Going to be very interesting. We'll continue to talk about the playoffs, the NBA Finals, as well as anything else you want to get into. This is the Doug Stewart Show. You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right. I said billions with a B, okay? A B. Well, just do it, and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobilized, optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their banner link on the DougStewartShow.com or the app link for more details. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. The world's heavyweight champion of sports talk and guy talk radio. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Yes, thank you for joining your boy. Hour number 2. Talking about the top 5 NBA ball dribblers of all times. NBA Finals, Lesean McCoy. We're going to talk about the Denver Nuggets here in a second. They interviewed a guy that you've all heard of. I'll give you my thoughts on that. But the number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. This segment is brought to you by Ticket Liquidator. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers to give you the opportunity to attend the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. The goal is to bring you more tickets, better service, and lower prices so that you can be there to witness the best the world of entertainment, culture, and sports has to offer. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call them up at 855-638-3034. That's 855-638-3034. And make sure and tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. A couple little house cleaning notes. Not really house cleaning notes, but things I kind of wanted to mention before I forgot. Tree, jump on the mic for a second there one more time. What was the name of the Nike... or not the Nike, 30 for 30 that came on last night about Nike and about Sonny Vaccaro?
Soul Man?
Soul Man, that's what it was called, spelled S-O-L-E. You need to check that out. I mean, very intriguing stuff, man. Real interesting story. He actually told two stories. One about the first time. In effect, he's kind of like the guy. What he's kind of portraying in this documentary is that he's the person that discovered Kobe Bryant and LeBron James. More so Kobe than LeBron. But yeah, very interesting stuff. You definitely want to check that out. Also, I meant to mention this the other day, and I want to get your thoughts on this, man. My man RJC, I guess he follows the show, and he retweeted today, but I saw that he responded to one of my tweets a couple of days ago where I mentioned that I had saw this story where Charles Barkley had did an interview with somebody off the Puppet Factory. I can't remember who it was, and they were talking about this whole thing about fans disrespecting players and how he feels like that, you shouldn't take anything from fans, and that he's actually fought or been arrested for fighting or beating the hell out of 8 fans. And I thought about that, man, for a second, and it was almost kind of like braggadocious. I actually heard some sound clips about it, but that's nothing really to be bragging about. And I guess if people are talking trash to you, you have all ability and all right to fight him or whatever, but Charles Barkley beating up a 160-pound guy ain't really tough. I mean, that don't make Charles Barkley tough. That really kind of an effect, especially in 2015, that makes you a bully. Yeah. I mean, how many of those 8 times where he arrested when he beat up somebody was the guy his size or bigger? So I don't think that's nothing to brag about. You beating up on some little fan. Yeah, once again, if a fan pops off at you, if anybody pops off at you, I guess you have the right to do it. But that's not, don't act like Charles Barkley is some kind of tough guy or whatever because he beat up freaking 8 accountants. All right? And what happened when Shaquille O'Neal stepped to him? Charles Barkley didn't want none. And then my man RJC pointed out to me here on Twitter that Charles Oakley punked Charles Barkley as well. So I don't like that, and I guess I got a different take on the whole thing because I saw people on Twitter, if you did the hashtag Barkley at the day when this happened or when this story came out, people were applauding Charles Barkley. I'm like, what? That's in effect bullying. If you're 280 pounds, and listen to me, Charles Barkley is a mammoth of a dude. He might not be as tall as other NBA players and NBA standards, but I took a whiz right next to Charles Barkley in Vegas. Wait a minute, that didn't sound right. But I've told this story before. In Vegas for the All-Star game, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, how many years ago that was, I was in the bathroom, and Charles Barkley was in there. We were in the urinals right next to each other. We'd had him on the show before, so we were kind of chatting it up when we walk in there. I know this is a lot of TMI, but trust me, it's going somewhere. So we're in there, and we're kind of like chatting it up, and some dude, some drunk guy, probably, starts popping off at Barkley, and I remember vividly Barkley says, listen, when I finish with this and when I put this away, I'm going to whoop your ass if you're still in here. And the guy kind of like real easy kind of slunked out, in the famous words of Larry David. So he kind of slunked out. So Charles punked this guy. My thing is, out of those 8 times that Barkley has been arrested for beating dudes up, how many of those dudes were his size or bigger? I promise you none. I promise you none. So don't be bragging about, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And you know I'm not a fan of Charles Barkley because some of his political and social views over the last couple of years. So my angst towards dude probably comes from that. But you ain't no tough guy. You did not want none of Shaquille O'Neal when you and Shaq squared off in that game many, many years ago. And yes, my man RJC did remind me, he didn't want none of Charles Oakley either. Don't nobody want none of Charles Oakley. Beat up somebody your own size, then talk about it, brag about it. That's all I'm saying. You beat up a little goddamn, like I said, an accountant or freaking somebody like that. That ain't nothing to brag about, man. I'm sorry. I had to vent just now. I know. Thank you, studio audience, for letting me get that out. I meant to talk about that the other day. Good for you, Charles Barkley. You beat up a 180-pound dude. And Charles Barkley's like one of the greatest athletes ever. He might be old, and he's probably 40 pounds overweight, but if you watch Barkley play back in the day, you know that he has an innate physical, athletic, God-given talent. Barkley used to jump out of the gym. Yes. Okay? 2 leg. Off 2 feet, 2-handed. And dunk on your ass like the great Chuck D from Public Enemy used to say. I'll dunk on your ass like Barkley. So I don't think that's nothing to brag about. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. Jose Negron says Cleveland in 7, but the first game in Golden State will be a blowout for Golden State. Ooh, I don't know about that. That's going to be interesting. I can't wait till the night, man. I got a couple of meetings later on today, but I'm going to be propped up for the first game. It's kind of like a tradition. I'm going to be propped up in somebody's sports bar with one of my boys checking out game when it's going to be a late night for me. I'm going to have a couple of cocktails, but it's all good. Love the NBA. The NBA is actually fantastic. If you've never heard that before, it is fantastic. Can't wait. For Jose Negron as well says LB is controlling the tempo of the game. I guess he's talking about LBJ. The tempo of the game right now, much like Jordan, Magic, and Bird. People say LB not shooting well, but the game is being played at his pace. Advantage Cavs. The game is definitely being played at his pace, and he is not having one of the best runs of shooting in the playoffs by his standards. But he's right. He's definitely controlling the pace of the game where it concerns the Cleveland Cavaliers. One thing I will say about the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I guess LeBron and his legacy going forward, is if they don't win this series, that's not good. That's going to be bad. Because everybody always throws out that figure that Michael Jordan was undefeated in the finals. Right now, LeBron James is 2-3. Is that correct? You're right. He's 2-3 in the finals. Has 2 rings, obviously. He's 2-3 in the finals, and if they lose this series, which I expect them to, he's going to be 2-4 in the finals. And so you know what that means? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You know what that means? That means that people are going to point towards that. The LeBron detractors, the young people call them haters, they're going to point to that stat forever and ever and ever. In effect, it'll be LeBron James trying to win championships just to get back to 500 as far as NBA championships for the rest of his career. So I think it's very important to his legacy that he does win this. I'm not denying that. I'm not, running from that fact. If they lose this series, then everybody's going to say, oh, he's supposed to be one of the greatest players of all times. Y'all keep comparing him to Jordan, and he's 2-4 in the finals? That doesn't sound good. You feel me? That doesn't sound good at all. So I think for that point alone, he's motivated to try to get this done. I mean, you're trying to win the finals at all times anyway. Obviously, nobody's not trying to win the finals. But I think that's extra motivation for LeBron James to try to get this done, is to win, another NBA Finals, in the conversation and the talk about Michael Jordan. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. When we get back from the break, man, we're going to talk to my guy Greg Wynn, regional leader for Pride America, and help you get your financial and your insurance situation straight. We'll do that. He's also a big sports fan. He's from Chicago, so we'll talk about that briefly as well. We'll read more of your chat. We'll continue with the top 5 ball handlers in NBA history of all times and read more of your chat. All right? Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. The Doug Stewart Show. The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show. You ain't stewing. What the hell are you doing? Yeah! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. All right, y'all saw how I did that, right? Earlier I played a little bit of Too Short for Oakland, for the Warriors, and now a little bit of Cleveland music royalty and Bone Thugs and Harmony. NBA Finals tonight. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Make sure you retweet the tweet that I tweeted out earlier. I am on an official hunger strike until I get at least 50 people to retweet today's tweet. And if you don't do that, man, I'm just going to starve to death, so that's not good. All right, but right now, joining me on the phone is my man Greg Wynn, Regional Director for Pride America in the Southeast. Greg, how you doing?
I could not be better. Thanks for having me on.
Man, no problem, man. Thank you for coming on. As I've been talking about over the last couple of weeks, I've kind of partnered up with Pride America to help out families be secured. So the relationship with you, me and you know each other. We go way, way back, but you're a big-time guy with Pride America. Before we even get into that talk, though, Greg, you're a Bulls fan. I know that, once again, because we're boys. What do you think about your Bulls this year and what they did and them getting rid of Tom Thibodeau? What do you think about Bulls?
Well, first of all, I want to back up just let's talk about a fumble for about 10 seconds. You were right. Nobody want to see Charles Oakley.
Yeah.
Because if Barkley ran up on him, and you and I know behind the scenes, Oakley's a legitimate NBA goon.
Right. Everybody was scared of Charles Oakley from stories we've heard from NBA locker rooms.
Oh, man, you don't want to see him. But as it pertains to my Bulls, I was a little disappointed. This was the year that we were supposed to run the table. I picked the Bulls to sweep Cleveland. Mm-hmm. I don't know how. Well, the reason Tibbs is gone because he got out-coached by a rookie.
Right.
And I'm not going to blame the Pau Gasol injury. But you do not let their goons out-goon us.
Right.
Or what I would say, their bums out-bum us. Their bench destroyed us.
Yeah.
You don't let a Deladova. This cat, nobody knew him until that series.
Right. Until that series, nobody knew Matthew Dellavedova was. You're right. Do you think you guys, man, are going to be able to recover from this? And also, what do you think about Fred Hoiberg?
I don't like the hire, but I like the change.
Okay.
I don't like how it was handled. Everybody knew Tibbs was out. If they lost, if they won, he probably still would have been out. But the philosophy had to change. He lost the locker room because there was no days off. That Amish, no days off, there were no days off.
Right.
He burned the players out. It showed that they were tired. And when you get to April, May, and everybody's nicked up, you lose them. They started tuning them out, and every little bit hurts. But that's no excuse. I'm not going to blame the injuries or anything like that. But ultimately, he lost that locker room.
Yeah. And
Fred Hoiberg is going to bring a change. He's a popular young fella, and he can relate to the younger generation. He's a player's coach, and that's what the Bulls need right now. They got the talent, and there's a lot of talent you haven't seen. The Tony Snells, the McDermotts. I actually I'll call him the foreigner. You got to check him. So I'm excited about next year, but honestly, we'll be fine.
Talking to Greg Wynn right now, Regional Leader for Pride America Group, talking insurance, life insurance as well, most importantly. Greg, let's talk a little bit about insurance and Pride America and what you do. Who actually needs life insurance? If I were to ask you that question just off the cuff, who actually needs life insurance?
Well, that's a very easy answer. My goal is to make sure every man, it starts with the leadership, the head of the household is the man. But unfortunately, in our community, it's a lot of single-parent households, and the dynamic has been shifted. And to take it a step further, we are, as a race, 6 generations behind, playing catch-up.
Wow.
And I'm sick of things happening like, let's just say, God forbid, if one of my buddies die, and they're a parent, and they're not covered. I go to bed with this every day. I wake up with it every day. So every man first needs to be covered. I don't care if you're 25, 26, 36, 46, no kids. Every man should be covered because somebody's depending on you, whether you want to admit it or not. It might not sink in that if I pass, I could actually leave something to my nieces and nephews or make sure my mom's home is paid off. It's something as simple as that. And so I was combating a client who actually said, well, wait a minute, Susie Orman said that I don't have any kids, I don't have any real debt, so I shouldn't have a policy. I totally disagree as it pertains to race. And I don't want to play that card,
right.
But at the same time, we're different. Our story is different.
Talking to Greg Wynn right now from Prime America. How much coverage do you actually need if you're talking about life insurance?
Well, it's case by case. Let's just say husband, wife, mid-30s. I would say somewhere in the $250,000 range would be a good place to start. No kids. If something happens, you want the home to be paid off. Average home, $200,000. Any debt, car loans, things like that, that can be taken care of with $250,000. You add a few kids to that, we want to bump that up. Probably $500. 20-year, 30-year term, everything will be okay. And it's actually quite affordable. It's amazing how people just don't know, and that's my job, is to make sure that they understand how affordable it is. And I'll ask a client, how much are you paying for auto insurance? And they'll stand up and be happy. $200. And I fall out of my chair when they tell me that, and they don't have any life insurance because, on average, for half of what people are paying in car insurance, you can get coverage for your entire family for around $80 to $90 a month.
Wow.
And that just has to happen.
Wow. Talking to Greg Wynn right now, regional leader for Prime America. We're talking life insurance. Speaking of life insurance, what's the best type of insurance to have? Is it whole life versus time life or term life? Which one is the best?
Well, I want to be loud and clear when I say this. If there's any music playing, music. Anybody that will sit down and advise you that whole life is the way to go does not care about you. They only care about the money that they're about to make. It is the absolute worst investment you could make. Term is always the way to go, simply because it's affordable. And the amount that you're going to waste on a whole life policy, they're going to lie to you first. And they're telling you that this is how they'll get you. You can borrow against your policy. Why would you ever need to borrow money from your life insurance? The average American doesn't know that. Mm-hmm. So it's my job to make sure that they understand if your youngest child is 5 years old, you need at least a 20-year term to get them out of the house. If you don't have kids yet, you can get away with a 10, 20-year term. But ultimately, term is always the way to go because you can actually bump it up.
Right. Finishing up with Greg Wynn right now on the Doug Stewart Show, Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, talking something very serious outside of the norm for this show, talking life insurance. Let's finish with this. You mentioned something to me in conversation a couple of weeks ago about the 3 principles of wealth. Explain that to my listeners.
Oh, it's quite simple. The first principle of wealth is getting out of debt as fast as you can. That's actually number 1. Number 2, while you're getting out of debt, you have to save as much as you can. It's a two-headed monster. And the third principle is you have to protect what you aspire to become. And if you don't have that money, you have to protect yourself. Buy life insurance. That's how you do it. It's quite simple. You can't reinvent the wheel. It's never going to change. It will always keep going. And I'm going to educate as many people as I can. And with your help and my team's help, I got people in Chicago, New York, Florida, South Carolina, all across the country, actually. If you're here, if you're there, I have people that can help you.
He's actually from Chicago, born and raised in Chicago, but he went to school here in ATL at the AUC at Clark, Atlanta, played football, big-ass dude, but he's cool as hell. My man, Greg Wynn. Before I let you go, Greg, who do you like in the finals and why?
Okay, Tom and Jerry hate LeBron James. Let me say that first. Tom and Jerry hate. I'm going to go – I got a lot of cats from Oakland that I roll with. So I'm going to support Oakland, number one for them, and I love Curry's game. And to back up a point a little bit, Charles Oakley and Dale Curry were actually in Simeon's gym when I was 13. And when I tell you that 100 3-point thing that Dale Jr. was doing, I'm calling him Dale Jr., Steph Curry, his dad did it like standing still.
Wow.
When I say standing still, didn't move, just whop, whop.
Right.
And him and Oakley I can go on and on about Simeon basketball, but moral of the story is I'm picking Steph Curry, him alone. And their goons, they're gonna outgoon Cleveland.
Right. Okay. All right, so 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place for their family, man. Call my friend, ATL resident Greg went up. He'll come and talk to you about your options. The number is 678-439-7172. Once again, his number is 678-439-7172. Is there a website, Greg?
Yes, actually, I can be reached at www.facebook.com/DKWINN. DK Win.
DK Win. All right, Greg, thanks, man, for the time, man.
I appreciate it. Be my dog.
There he is, Greg Win, right there. Pride America, regional leader. Take care of your family, man. Things happen in life, good and bad. All right, 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. Talking about the NBA Finals, you got another guy that's picking the Golden State Warriors. I'm reading all of your chat and getting your thoughts about the playoffs and the finals. Obviously, with the Warriors and the Cavaliers, it seems like most people believe that the Warriors are the team to beat. But once again, it's hard to bet against LeBron James and his history and the fact that he has all of this experience gained after many years in the league, in the playoffs, and now in the finals, this being his 5th finals in a row. What are your thoughts on that? We will talk about it when we get back from the break. Yes, we will. And I'm going to read more of your chat. I think we might be at 50 retweets already. We're going to check the numbers, and hopefully we have passed the 50 retweet number so that I can eat this sandwich. Hopefully that's the case. I'm really hungry here, man. I am on a hunger strike until I get 50 people to retweet today's tweet. All right? When we get back as well, I'll give you number 2 on my list of top 5 NBA ball handlers of all times, and we'll do it like that. This is The Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad, and being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number 1 independent financial services company in North America, and that's Pride America. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Pride America's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes!
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
I'd been talking about red rice and frogmore stew. Another one on the list, on number 13 on this list, is peanuts taste better boiled. Yes. And as God is my witness, my wife did not know people boiled peanuts and ate them. She did not. My wife's from Ohio. And yes, boiled peanuts, if cooked right, are the bomb.
Sports talk. Straight, no chaser.
All right, so I got to clear something up. and I don't even know why anybody's mind would even work like this, but evidently it's becoming a topic of conversation. In the last segment, I was talking about boiled peanuts, okay, that come from out of the ground, not boiled peanuts. And so, evidently there's some talk in the chat room about Doug talking about boiled man parts. No, peanuts. I'm trying to say it as slow as I can. Peanuts, okay? What is it? Peanuts? Peanuts. No, man! Not boiled peanuts! Come on, man! And I see Vern in here. Damn you, Vern! Ugh. Y'all know what the hell I was saying. This is the Doug Stewart Show. What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. In a constant battle against weak-ass talk radio, this is the Doug Stewart Show. Throwback Thursday, June 4th, 2015. Your DPD, your daily promotional duty is to retweet my tweet that I tweeted out earlier. It's a lot of tweets. We need 50 people to do it before I can eat again. Help your boy eat. Yeah, 404-382-0338. I'm also reading chat here. We're doing top 5 NBA ball dribblers of all times, ball handlers of all times. It sounds kind of freaky saying it after I thought about that Steph Curry and what's her name? Corinne Steffens, that's her name. Comment made by one of the posters a little bit earlier. But the top 5 NBA ball handlers of all times. Number 5 on my list was Chris Paul. Number 4, Jason Williams. Number 3, Isaiah Thomas. And all of this came from a comment LeBron James made about Steph Curry and Kyrie Irving being 2 of the best of all time. Number 3, Isaiah Thomas. And number 2 on my list is the great Tim Hardaway. I mean, the term crossover or killer crossover came from Tim Hardaway. It did. He had that killer crossover, breaking ankles like it wasn't nothing. Fantastic player. Great jump shooter as well. He was a guy that was a marksman from the three-point line as well. But he was known for the crossover. I mean, he's just a beast handling the basketball, one of the best ball handlers in the history of the game. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. I'm going to read more of your chat here in a second, but the Denver Nuggets interviewed Mike D'Antoni for their head coaching job. Some people like it. I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a fan of Mike D'Antoni. He had great success when he was in Phoenix. Obviously, great success with him and Steve Nash. Up and down the floor, great pace of basketball, real fun to watch. But then he went to New York and didn't do a damn thing. And you know what happened when he came to L.A. for my Lakers. He sucked. Now, we didn't have players. We had a ton of injuries. We had guys not play to their level. And you're talking about Dwight Howard and Steve Nash was hurt. There's been a lot of little issues that he had when he was the coach of the Lakers. But it just left a really bad taste in my mouth for Mike D'Antoni. Clearly what you need if you're a Mike D'Antoni coach team is you need shooters. You need a floor general. You need the same makeup that they had when they were so successful in Phoenix, as I talked about earlier. And I don't know if they have that. Now, they got some solid players on Denver. Kenneth Faried, Manimal, love his game, but he's really not a guy that's going to shoot the basketball. So you need a lineup kind of like what they have in Golden State, where even the big guys can shoot three-pointers like Harrison Barnes and Draymond Green. You don't really have that right now. You got Danilo Gallinari, Randy Foye, Ty Lawson. Now, those players are solid as hell. Ty Lawson and Randy Foye and Gallinari can shoot, but that's not a Golden State type roster. It's just not. So we'll see what happens. He was interviewed, and actually he's the only person that's been interviewed, as far as I know, for this Golden State job. So we'll see what happens to that. And I hate the whole retread thing. We talked about that a while back as well, with some of the other with Coach Gentry being the head coach of the New Orleans Pelicans as well. I don't like that type of thing. And it looks like right now the front runner at least is Mike D'Antoni for the Denver Nuggets. 404-382-0338. That is the number to the show. Let me read more of your chat here. Thank you so much for the chat. I didn't say it many times a day, but I tried to say it a lot. And thank you for the chat. I mean, y'all actually make the show what it is. Y'all make the show totally interactive, and I totally appreciate it. Tree, can you pull up the numbers and see if we do have 50 people that have retweeted today's tweet? I need to find out about that so I can stop harassing people. But I do need to harass you until you do, because I'm hungry over here. Like we used to say back in the country, I'm hungry. From Detroit, Matt, Steph can get around LeBron. I don't think LeBron really wants to guard Steph. He will waste too much energy. That's something that always comes out in the conversation about great players on the offensive side of the ball and, them saving energy on the defensive side. Usually what happens with LeBron in the last couple of years is LeBron doesn't stick the other team's best player, offensive player, until like the fourth quarter. When they need stops, when they need to neutralize that one guy, then LeBron will get on that guy and he'll guard the guy better than anybody else has guarded the guy the whole year long. So I look for that to probably happen in this series as well. From Grego, retweeted and favored it, Doug. Thank you very much, my man, Grego. Appreciate that. All you got to do is hit retweet. The two little arrows that do like a little box, that's all you got to do. From the 47th Problem, shout out to Tree and the intern for sending me my brand new Icy White Doug Stewart Show t-shirt. Yes, sir. That's right. Never can mention that enough. Yeah, man. Very proud of the first run edition of the Doug Stewart Show t-shirt. It's pretty cool. It's very basic. I got to be honest with you about that. It's very basic. But it has an interesting little quote on the front. And it's a conversation starter. So if you donate $20 or more to the Doug Stewart Show on the DougStewartShow.com, we'll send you your brand new, very own Doug Stewart Show t-shirt. And it's a collector's item. You better believe that. So you need to get yours. So we not like Creflo Dollar around here. We asking you for money, but we're going to give you something for your money. In effect, you're purchasing a shirt. All right, so yeah, go to the DougStewartShow.com, click on the little donate button to the right, and $20 or more, we'll send you a Doug Stewart Show t-shirt. Thank you very much. From Gary Joyner, look for Dirty Della to drive for Steph Curry's knees. He better not do that. And if you're new to the show, man, really don't like that Della Vadova guy. Really don't. He's become my new favorite guy to hate. Seeing what he did in the last series against the Atlanta Hawks and taking out Al Horford and Kyle Korver. Just dirty. That's not a coincidence. He's a dirty son of a bitch. From William Mack, honorable mention to Rafer Alston and Jamal Crawford. Yeah, we're talking about the top 5 ball handlers of all times. I'll give you my honorable mention list as well a little bit later. It's pretty good. Some interesting names as far as NBA ball handlers. From William Mack, top 5 I've seen in the league. Isaiah, Tim Hardaway, Kenny Anderson, and I mentioned that earlier, man. I forgot all about Kenny Anderson. I hated that. Jason White Chocolate Williams and God Shamgod. Ooh, I forgot about the great God Shamgod. Who did he play for, though? Did he play in the NBA? I don't remember. Maybe he did. Had a cup of tea in the NBA. I don't remember who the great God Shamgod played for in the NBA. But, yeah, great ball handler as well. Kind of trickster type with the basketball. From Al the Bandit, best handlers of honorable mention, Chris Jackson, a.k.a. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf from LSU fame. Ricky Rubio. Yeah, Ricky Rubio got great handles, and this was kind of a tricky thing when I was doing this today and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I tried to separate ball handlers and passers. And I think Ricky Rubio might be a fantastic passer more so than he is a ball handler. And yeah, he is good with the ball. Same thing I had to kind of think about when I thought about putting Magic Johnson on the list. You know, Magic Johnson is probably the best point guard ever. He's probably one of the top 1 or 2 passers ever. Ball handling, I don't think I could put him in this category. He's a great ball handler. Obviously, he was a great ball handler, being as big and tall as he was, but not like these guys I got on my list. From dollars and cents, a lot will depend on the refs. If they allow physical play, that helps the Cavs clutch and grab Golden State shooters. Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. If they allow a more free-flowing game, the officials in the finals, then that's definitely a check mark to the Cleveland Cavaliers because they'll be able to, like my man just said, neutralize and kind of offset getting to the heads, you know, literally and figuratively of the Golden State Warriors. So that's going to be very important to see what happens with that as far as the officiating. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. From Cleotis72, hell, Doug sounds like Bobby Brown. I mean, that's a compliment. I guess he's talking about my rendition of I Like It a little bit earlier. Yes, sir. Thank you, Cleotis72. That really means a lot. From 9-0, the Rhino, the girls love that mofo back in the day. Oh, yeah. Yeah, all types of light-skinnedness was going on with the DeBarges back in the day. Y'all remember when one of them DeBarges married Janet Jackson? I think it might have been Chico. Or one of them dudes married Janet Jackson. They got married, and then this is like a conspiracy theory or kind of like a urban legend almost, but I think it was actually true. You remember they got married? And then they had announced in Jet Magazine or Ebony or one of them black magazines at the time that Janet Jackson was pregnant. Then you never heard about, you know, anything after the fact. Like Janet Jackson never had a baby that we knew of, but she was supposedly pregnant. And then there was like this controversy that Rebe or LaToya, one of her sisters, raised this child because Janet was focusing on her career. You remember that? Yeah, I remember that. Let's see. From Theron. Sing it, player. So inspirational. Thank you. So I'm in the chat section now. You see how far I'm behind as far as the chat. This is the chat, I guess, immediately following my rendition of I Like It in honor of the great El DeBarge's birthday today. He's 54 years old. And so I'm starting to get my kudos for that, my rendition. So thank you very much, man. Thank y'all. I mean, hey, man, this is what I do. From Miss Mocha Bella, let me review this. Doug sings like this. We don't want to read that one. From Detroit Matt, laugh out loud. My wife was listening to the show with me for the first time and asked me to do He Think He Can Really Sing. I shouldn't have read that one. That's a misquote. I think that was for somebody else. From Juan Cruz, let's see. Let's review this. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I'm convinced that Doug would never get back to his regular radio with all this. We don't want to read that one either. Brian Lucas. Damn, is El DeBarge in the studio? Yes! Thank you. Uncle Mike, go Doug, go Doug, go Doug. Sexual chocolate. Yes, sir. Thank you. It's really humbling, man. Let me say this. And I told myself that I wouldn't get emotional today like I did yesterday. But it really means a lot for your support on my singing endeavors. It really does. So I want to thank you for that. Thank you, Uncle Mike. Thank you to everybody that said these kind words. It really means a lot when people appreciate your talent and your craft and how I take this craft of singing so serious. Thank you very much, man. I really do appreciate that. From That Ninja, let me review this. Doug, I'm sending you a bill for those damn phone screens. We don't want to read that one. The 47 Problem. He just left Z flat in R flat minor. I'm not really knowledgeable in the way, in the words that describe music. I think those are music terms. So I'm going to take that as a compliment. Thank you, the 47th Problem. He says he just left Z flat into R flat minor. Thank you. I think from Wiley Brown. Thank you, Mr. Wiley Brown. This is a new guy in the chat room. Shouts out to you, Mr. Wiley Brown. I appreciate you listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I officially nominate Waterhead Walter for a BPA. We don't like it. What? Oh, I see. That's a slide like Bo. He threw a little bow just now. Should review these a little bit more. From Chico the Alpha, Doug, go on The Voice. He rocks. Doug should go on The Voice. He rocks. Thank you. Man, this is gratifying. This is gratifying. Yes, sir. From Dollars and Cents. Geesh, my dog just jumped out of my car. Window into the highway. I don't want to read that one. From Texas Ty. Work, Doug. Work it. Yes! Man. Studio audience gets it. The listeners get it, man. Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all so much. Oh. You know what, man? You always hear that saying, don't quit your day job. But I actually might quit my day job. I might quit and just go and sing full time. Yes! Man, I feel good. I might pull out another DeBarge song for the last segment of the show. I don't know. Y'all stay tuned. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show. Yes! In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and #1 independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! This is your boy Doug Stewart, one half of the Two Live Stews. Check out my brand new daily show and podcast that airs live Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Spreaker.com. That's the Doug Stewart Show daily at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Spreaker.com. Or check out the podcast anytime, 24/7. If you not stewing, what in the world are you doing?
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Oh, yeah. This ain't New York, baby. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you for joining me. Yes, sir. Yeah. NBA Finals tonight. Let's get it on, Jack. Yes, sir. Can't wait. Who do you like in the finals and why? Talked about Mike D'Antoni, Lesean McCoy, And I obviously all day long have been talking about the NBA Finals, Warriors versus Cavaliers. Who do you like? I'm going to amend my my prediction from a couple of days ago. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I said Golden State in 6. I'm going to go Golden State in 7. I'm going to give a little bit more credit to LeBron James and his greatness, that they'll take this thing to a 7th game. But by the time they get to a 7th game, Kyrie's injuries will probably have resurfaced to a degree. And then it's home. It's Golden State. They got some of the best fans and the best home court advantage in basketball. But because of LeBron James, I'm going to say it's going to go to 7. I'm going to say it's going to 7, but I still like the Golden State Warriors to win this year's NBA Finals. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewarshow.com. Still got a couple of minutes to get a call in if you'd like. But the way to go is to chat on Spreaker.com. We're a little bit over 40. I can't give you the exact number, but last I checked, we were at 40 people that retweeted, which tells me a couple of things. One, that y'all need to get with the times and get a Twitter account. Or 2, you're just lazy. Help your boy out. Once again, I'm not going to eat. And this is serious. I am on a hunger strike until I get 50 people to retweet today's tweet that I tweeted out earlier. And it's basically a little promo for the show, for the Doug Stewart Show. Don't you want your friends and your people to know about the Doug Stewart Show? Well, retweet that, man, and help me eat. Come on, man. But we're keeping a running tally. Tree's checking on it, keeping track of it. So we're over 40. I mean, we should easily do 100. I mean, there's 100 people. There's over 100 people. There's almost, I don't know how many thousands of people are listening to this show. It's telling me y'all lazy, man. Come on, man. Retweet that stuff for your boy. Let's get the word out about the Doug Stewart Show. Top 5 NBA ball dribblers of all times. I've been doing that today. LeBron James mentioned Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry, 2 of the best ball handlers in the history of the world. And I agree with him. I'll talk about those guys more here in a second. But number 1 on my list, let me run down 5 through 2. Number 5 on my list was Chris Paul. Number 4, Jason Williams, a.k.a. White Chocolate. Number 3, Isaiah Thomas. Number 2, Tim Hardaway. And number 1 on my list, you know what it is, the question and the answer, like Iverson. Allen Iverson, Jack. Ooh. What in effect Allen Iverson did is he took the crossover, he took Tim Hardaway's killer crossover and took it to a new level. And obviously Allen Iverson's a better athlete than Tim Hardaway was. But just, the basketball was like a string. I mean, it was like a yo-yo. And Allen Iverson, man, that was part of the reason why he was such a great player. He could get anywhere on the floor he wanted to, between his legs, behind his back, the crossover, AI, best handles I've seen, pound for pound, and accomplishment-wise in the NBA over the last 40 years. That's Allen Iverson. Yes, sir. I like my list. So here's some honorable mentions. Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving. I agree with LeBron on that, man. And by the time it's all said and done, these guys might be further up on the list than I have them right now. So Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving. I mentioned Rafer Alston, a.k.a. Skip to Malou. How about Stevie Franchise, man? Steve Francis. Damn, Steve Francis had handles. Have y'all seen him lately? Bless his heart. Steve Francis looked like he going through some things, man. Bless his heart. And also I got Jamal Crawford, former Atlanta Hawk, now with the Clippers. Jamal Crawford probably played for 10 teams in the NBA, but mad handles. Yeah, Jamal Crawford got mad handles, so he makes my honorable mention list as well. Let me read more of this chat before we get out of here. From William Mack, I watched SportsCenter, and they led in with McCoy is angry. Then they played the clip, and I don't think it was angry at all. He was very level-headed. Exactly, I agree with that. And I knew then that the witch hunt is on. Good thing for him, he's in a relatively small market like Buffalo. I agree with that. And a lot of times they make these salacious headlines so that you click on the story. But yeah, he wasn't angry. He was very level-headed. He was very matter-of-fact as well. He was like, man, I don't want to talk about it anymore. What's angry about that? Just because I don't want to answer your questions, I'm angry? That doesn't make sense. I don't like that. I hate that type of stuff. From Rel Scott, All the sports talk shows turned on Shady McCoy up here in Philly. This is the only sports town that follows ex-players and tries to belittle them and what they meant to the organization. That's why I would never root for any of my hometown teams in Philly. Good for you, McCoy. Well, I mean, listen, let's don't act like we don't know Philadelphia fans are kind of bad. I mean, don't act like that. I mean, they're passionate, but a lot of Philadelphia fans are a-holes. I mean, there's just no denying that. I told a story about me and my brother when we went up there. I won't get into that now. But Philadelphia fans, a lot of times, are a-holes. We know that. From Brian Hill, he had 5. Isaiah, number 4, White Chocolate. 3, Magic. Number 2, AI. And number 1, he had Pistol Pete Maravich. I didn't take the time to go back and look at Pistol Pete Maravich film. But as far as ball handlers, a lot of people will tell you that Pistol Pete Maravich was the best ball handler in NBA history. But once again, before my time. From Maceo Brown, he says, best ball handler is Dwight Howard. Now, I've been doing a good job of previewing these posts. And that's actually pretty funny. I mean, that's actually pretty funny. Somebody said Corinne Steffens a little bit earlier, and that was only trumped by the great Maceo Brown. He says Dwight Howard was the best ball handler of all time. You remember that story a couple of months back. From Clay Davis, Evelyn Lozada is the best ball handler in sports. Okay, see, now we're going to get a run of that. We're going to get a lot of that, huh? Is that what's going to happen here on these messages in this chat room, huh? Are we going to get a string of so-and-so is the best ball handler? From William Mack, Shamgod has to at least get an honorable mention. Shamgod, I forgot about him, but he does get an honorable mention. I mentioned him a little bit earlier. From Theron, retweeted that mug. Thank you very much, Theron. From Craig O, Isaiah Thomas at 1, Earl of Pearl at 2. Earl of Pearl, a little bit before my time, once again. We had him on the show many, many years ago, but he didn't make my list. I don't remember seeing him play. From Pete Maravich, at number 3, AI at 4, Jason Williams, a.k.a. White Chocolate at 5. Craig O must be an older dude, or he's just a historian. He gave me a couple of old school names. From Scotty, honorable mention, Dribbler, Sky Black. Unfamiliar with Mr. Sky Black. From That Ninja, Stop Doug. He has to play a lot longer to be considered the best at anything. He is being promoted because at the moment he has not played long enough without the media coverage. Nobody would have ever posed that question. I guess you're talking about That Ninja, Steph Curry, as far as greatest shooters of all time. Here's the thing, man. I've seen all I had to see. And I hear what you're saying. You're making the argument for longevity, and I get that. And, yeah, guys like Reggie Miller and Ray Allen and those guys did it for much, much longer. They were much more consistent because of the length of their career. I get that. But I guess if I pose the question to you, you know, which one of these guys, if you were at the playground, and I've been doing this for many, many years, if you were trying to pick the best shooter, you know, on the playground for your team at the height of their career, which one of these guys would you want? Would you want Reggie Miller? And once again, this is a very small distinction between these guys. I mean, either one of these guys, you could be right. I mean, it's all, you know, in the eye of the beholder. But if you had your choice, would you rather take Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, I don't know, Dale Curry, or Steph Curry? You know, somebody like that. Dale Ellis, go back, Chuck Persons. I mean, the greatest shooters ever. If you had your choice, which one would you take? I think, even though he's only played a couple of years, I think I'm going to take Steph Curry. Yes, sir! I think I'm going to take the babyface assassin, Jack. Yeah! I think I'm going to take the babyface assassin, man. That's real. That's real. That's real. I'm sorry. From Harvey Scott, Doug, Barkley is the biggest punk out there, but he just hasn't ran up on the right ninja yet. I agree. In my Charles Barkley conversation a little bit earlier. Let's see, Scotty. Talking to another man in the bathroom while taking a piss is a definite violation of a man law. Not when we were actually doing it. You know, when we got up to the urinals, the little Barkley story I told a little bit earlier, we both looked forward. The conversation has stopped then. Yeah. That's definitely a man violation. Hey, man, thank you so much for joining me today on the Doug Stewart Show. I think we're at 50, so I'm going to go ahead and eat this sandwich. But if not, continue to retweet today's tweet. I really would appreciate that, man. Help promote the show. Help give the gift of the Doug Stewart Show, a.k.a. TDSS. All right, we'll do it again tomorrow. Shouts out to Tree, the Tree of Life, the producer to the show, Waterhead Walter, Dwayne Bassan, Gerald Oliveri, and to all of the Stewies out there. Thank y'all. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Funky Football Friday. Yeah!